Welcome to Module 1 of the Perfect Week Schedule. I'm your host, Jason Will. I am joined by one of my top team members, Mr. Blake Ray.
Hello.
So you're a few years in the business,
I am.
typically in the top 10 production.
Yep.
Right now you're sitting at number 3.
Yep.
All right, so that's pretty good. We were talking about off camera about your first 6 months in the business, and this is what I think makes Blake Ray a very relatable guest, because there's a lot of real estate agents out there that are struggling, and we were talking about like your first 6 months was a complete hot mess.
Oh yeah, that's understating it.
But I think the key to getting through that first 6 months and getting into momentum for the bulk of year 1, 2, and 3 was that you were coachable.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever I told you needed to do to make money, you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why this Perfect Week Schedule, I think, is an ideal game plan for real estate agents out there that are struggling. I see a lot of real estate agents that get out of the business. And so our goal here with this university is to make sure that talented real estate agents like yourself don't get out of the business, don't quit right before a breakthrough. So let's jump right in.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right, so Monday, I feel like that there are basically two things that are real estate agents, most especially a new real estate agent, needs to be focused on. And number one is learning. Focused on education, but research. And so you're going to see kind of a research theme throughout this weekly schedule. But the first thing I want agents doing Monday morning when they come into the office is studying the hot sheet.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something I need to get better on personally, but it's vital to your existence.
Yeah, and you say personally you need to get better at it. I think this is what you're referring to as the struggle that most real estate agents are going through, is that especially when you're in momentum, you're really busy.
Right.
So it's like, do I need to make time to study this? But the more market knowledge you have, the better you're going to be able to serve your clients, the more referrals you're going to get. It's kind of this cycle where everything feeds everything.
And just in our market, which is really competitive, you might only get an hour. So every minute counts, though, to know when something comes up on the market, you may not get another opportunity.
Well, there's the key word, is opportunity. I think a lot of agents are focused on the opportunity. They're not necessarily as focused as they need to be on the preparation. So when the opportunity presents itself, they drop the ball. But the opportunities are precious because we're dealing with 100% commission-based sales. You don't kill, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So every Monday, going to come in and study the hot sheet. This is just basically, just going to give you an overview of what's coming on the market, what's coming off the market, and what has sold. The next thing I think they should do, which is something I think you're relentless at, is lead follow-up.
That's probably the biggest source of my business. Like, it is. I mean, you can say it a million different ways and you can have a million different things on that paper, but if you're not following up with your leads, somebody else is.
Exactly. So what if an agent's out there watching and they're like, well, Jason, the whole reason I'm subscribing to your university is because I don't have any leads to follow up with.
There's 8,000 different ways.
I think, wouldn't number one be to start with your cell phone? Like, do you
Right.
have a cell phone?
Yeah.
And contact list in the cell phone? There you go.
Dial them up.
There's a good place to start. So every day you're going to see a common theme, Monday through Friday. It starts with studying the hot sheet and doing your lead follow-up. Now, the great thing about this, schedule or this game plan is that it is about lead generation. It's about prospecting. Okay, so you're going to be networking in a sense. You're going to be advertising in some areas, and you're going to be prospecting, which is going to equal sales. Okay. All right, so the next thing I have on here is to select your open house location. Now this would be a good time to introduce what I feel like is the magic bullet in real estate. Most people, I think, when they pay for an online course or they go to a real estate conference, they're looking for this magic bullet. And there really is no magic bullet, is there?
Not that I have found.
If we had one, we wouldn't be sitting here doing
Be
this.
much richer.
Yeah, we would be on a beach somewhere.
Yep.
But the magic bullet is consistency. And I think consistency takes a lot of pressure off the agent, but also does a great deal for the agent in terms of structure, which a lot of real estate agents lack, and top of mind awareness. So what I want a real estate agent to do every Monday, so every Monday they have some big rock tasks that they need to knock out. And one of the primary is going to be selecting an open house location. And what I want them to do next, which will probably give them a great deal of anxiety, maybe some sweaty hands or some perspiration from the armpits, which you may be having some of that going on now.
Absolutely.
But going Facebook Live, just doing a simple Facebook Live, they could do it from their car.
Yeah.
They could do it from their home office. They could do it really anywhere. They could actually go physically to the location. So this is going to take some preparation and some thought and some networking and kind of putting some feelers out, maybe talking to the top agents in your office about who has a home that needs an open house. Do sellers like open houses?
They love it. I mean, they do work. I just want to say that. And I know that when I speak with a lot of people, constantly, open houses don't work, open houses don't work. But there are people that make their living off of it. And I think it's just always goes back to the consistency of doing what you say, the Facebook Lives. You're studying the hot sheet to know what's for sale in the neighborhood, being that market knowledge master.
Yeah, so I think the key phrase I would take out of there is that the riches are in the niches.
Yeah.
So what this schedule, the foundation of this schedule is the open house / the FSBO open house. So I think, it's very easy to go to an agent in your office who has a lot of listings. Sellers are expecting open houses. That agent can't be in multiple places at once. They're going to need the help of this agent to host the open house. If you strike out there, then go to find a FSBO. In any given market, there's typically a number of for sale by owners out there, so that you can easily approach them. And we're going to go through that, how to approach that in another course. But with the scripts and dialogues needed to set the appointment. But your niche could be open houses, and there is your income.
And it's free.
And it's free. Yeah, that's important. I like that. So you do a lot of Facebook Live videos.
I do.
Do Facebook Live videos work?
If you put in, it's about value. I mean, you gotta give them something. You just can't go on and go, house, me, this day. You have to give them some stuff, and that's something that I think at the end of the day we all don't do. So it's really easy just to pull up your car, jump out, and go, I'm having an open house here tomorrow, bye. That's not going to work. But if you do 3 days of it, showing restaurants that are by, showing location, showing the selling features of the house, you're going to probably get a bigger result off of it. So yes, they do work, to answer your question.
So I would say they would need to structure this first open house live video around just something unique or special about the house.
Anything.
Just a little teaser.
Yeah.
Just starting to kind of build the buzz and anticipation around this event. One of the things that we're distinguishing ourselves from with this schedule is the average agent that kind of flies by the seat of their pants, that they just gather the signs, maybe a few waters, and they rush out an hour before the open house and put the signs out, and then they show up all sweaty, and they got a couple bottles of water, and they maybe have a little scribble something on there for a sign-in sheet, and then they're just kind of like, see if somebody comes in.
And I think if we're being honest, as realtors, we've all done it. So that's me included.
Me included.
I mean, it's about understanding that it's not just you out there, it's everybody's been there.
Yeah, so we are living proof of what not to do. So hopefully this course is going to help you save time by not repeating the same mistakes that we made. Now, if a real estate agent out there is watching this and they're petrified about the thought of going live, I think it's okay for them to do just something pre-recorded they can edit, but getting the video out there is crucial.
Yeah, and I hear them. I mean, I know I do a lot of videos and I still get nervous and I constantly have to be pushed to do them. And I do a lot. And I still go, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that one. Not going to do that one. I'll do it next week.
So quantity of these videos is going to eventually result in quality.
Right.
But you've got to start somewhere.
You have to start.
Yeah, you got to start. The final thing I want to get done, this is before noon, is I want you to do some research around, you can start a half a mile out, maybe have to go a mile.
Yeah.
But start in a tight radius, maybe work your way out depending on how much data is available. But I want you to study the actives, the pendings, and the solds. So really starting to get a grasp for what is going on market specifically around this open house. So you're going to become kind of the local market expert, if you will, for this open house area.
And one thing I want to say, and I don't know if it's taboo to say it, but you're really, in a messed up way, not there to sell that house. Like the buyers that come in, there's going to be one buyer for that house, and they can come off of an open house. I don't want to say that, but most of them are going to have questions about the neighborhood. They're going to be testing you on market knowledge for their house to be sold. They're going to want to know about the house 2 streets down, and they don't care if you're fumbling around going, well, I was just studying this house. You have to know everything. The market knowledge expert. You have to know what's sold down the street. You have to know what's for sale over there. It's gonna come up.
And if you don't have the answer, you can lose trust.
They're looking for someone else that has the answers.
Right. And the beautiful part about this is that most agents don't have the answers.
Right.
So if you're the one that does, you're immediately differentiating yourself from the
Absolutely.
average agent. So all right, that's Monday. We're going to move on to Tuesday, so stay tuned.